Hello. In these examples, we're going to go over how we can use physical objects to represent decimal numbers. So in this case, we're talking about paper clips. So we have a bunch of paper clips. And if we let one paper clip represent just the number one, right? Would you agree that if you had 100 paper clips, 100 paper clips, two groups of 10 paper clips, and then these are three single paper clips, that would represent two hundreds plus two tens is 20 plus 3 equals 223. But what if we let each paper clip represent 0.001? What decimal number would this picture now represent? We're going to use the same picture. Two groups of 100, two groups of 10, and three singles. Well, the way I do it, I usually go to the singles first, and I go, okay, there's three paper clips. Each one of those is 0.01. So that's 3 times 0.01, right? So that's equal to 0.03. So we took care of those three. Now we got to look at the two groups of 10. If you take 10 of these 0.01s and put them together, so if you did 10 times 0.01 on your calculator, you just shift the decimal point, right? So each one of these 10 paper clips actually represents 0.1 because 10 times 0.01 is 0.1. So these two groups of 10 represent 2 times 0.1. So that's equal to 0.2. All right, then we look at the groups of 100. So let's see, if each paper clip represents 0.01, and you put 100 of these 0.01s together, so 100 times 0.01, you move the decimal point 2 over. So each one of these groups of hundreds represent just a 1, right? So we have 2 times 1 equals 2. So now we have to add them all up, right? So I think that's just 2.23. And if you look at it, what did you do? You went from representing 1 to representing 0.01, right? You basically just multiplied this number by 0.01. You moved the decimal point over twice. Okay. What if they said if one paper clip reps, let's try 100. Okay, so this time we have 100. So I always start on the right. There's three singles, so isn't that 3 times 100? Okay, let's move over to the two tens, groups of tens. So each one of these is 100. If you have 10 hundreds together, isn't that 1,000? Right? 10 times 100 is 1,000. So each one of these groups of 10 represents 1,000. Okay. Finally, we move over to the hundreds. We get to the two sets of hundreds. Each paper clip represents 100. You have 100 hundreds in each of these groups. So I think that's 100 times 100. I think that's 10,000. So we have 2 times 10,000 equals 20,000. So if you add up these three numbers together, you get 22,300. Does that make sense? When we started with 1, we had 223. We went to representing 100. You multiply that number by 100, and you get 22,300. So you might encounter some problems where they tell you if one physical object represents how much, what do these pictures represent? So I hope that helps. You can go through the notes too. Good luck.